So hi everybody and welcome back to tip 8 on using Midi and Pro Tools with Expand. So in the last video we created some chords. In this video we're going to create a chord progression, like a melody. Something that we can add hi-hat to after, and some kick and some drums and some strings, maybe other instruments. But before I start, this Friday I'm going to release a reproduction of a track that I released last Friday. I'm going to create it all again in Pro Tools using Midi with Expand. If you want to check that out this Friday, I'll be adding it to my playlist of Expand instrumentals in Pro Tools, or Expand beats, or whatever you'd like to call them. There's a few there I've done already. So these tips are just for beginners, they're basic lessons for people that's trying to learn Midi in Pro Tools with Expand, or just Midi in general in Pro Tools, or any DAW. The track the video I'm going to release this Friday, there's more detail in it, and I go through the different sounds that I use and how I create them and all that kind of stuff. But today, as I say, we're going to create a chord progression, a melody. So let's get started. So I'm going to just click the Smart tool up here at the top, that's that little frame, and I'm going to highlight all them and press the backspace or delete button on the keyboard. It's a PC. So we're going to get the pen tool here and we're going to draw in a chord. First of all, you have to make sure that you're not on quarter or half or 1/8 notes, but one bar up here. This one at the top you have to click. And then click your pen tool, and this obviously corresponds to our keyboard, but without getting into the names of chords or anything like that, we're just going to draw in some notes. Now you can draw in what I'm drawing in, or you can draw in lines somewhere else and see what kind of sound you get. If we hit this enter button and then space bar for play. So as you can hear, we've created one chord in the first bar. So let's go to the second bar here and create another chord. And as you can see, I drew that in, and then once I hold the mouse button down, I can drag it up. If we'll say you click here and hold, don't release the button, but you can drag the note to where you would like to place it. Control Z. Now let's hear those two chords. That's our second chord. Now we're going to go to the third bar and create another chord. Now in one of the previous videos I spoke about velocity, which when you click each note down here at the bottom you have the velocity, so we can slightly change the velocity on each of the notes so that it doesn't sound so robotic, it sounds more human. Now you can draw in the notes as I have done, or you can drag them around different places in each bar just to check what kind of sound you get, and you might discover some new chords that you like. So that's 1, 2, 3 bars. Now on the final bar we're going to draw in some notes, and what we want to do now is, for that, we want to change it to 1/8 notes. See what that sounds like. And again we can change the velocity. Now you can, as I say, you can put in your own notes. You could play around with them notes anywhere you want. It's just a matter of experimenting and see what sounds good. But to begin with, you're probably better just sticking with a simple few notes just at the end until you get used to using MIDI. And if you can't, obviously if you can play a piano, you could be more sophisticated with more notes. But a lot of the time, simplicity works best in general anyhow, in terms of songs, or not all the time, but sometimes. So let's hear what that sounds like. We can loop it by going up here to the top. You can see it changes from the pen tool to this. We can drag it over and make sure you're on loop. If you right click your play button, you can change it to loop and press that. So as you can see now, we have a chord progression with a few simple notes at the end. It's a nice melodic sound. What we could do then, we could begin adding some hi-hat or some strings or some kick drum or some bass. Just the possibilities are endless. But that's the tip for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. As I say, this Friday I'm going to release another video using MIDI and Pro Tools with Expand. It's a track that I released last Friday. I'm going to reproduce it. So if you want to check that out, if you like all this kind of MIDI stuff, you'll enjoy that video, I'm sure. And hope you enjoyed today's video, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.